All right, whenever you guys are ready, we'll take questions for Coach.
Can you announce a pitching rotation at this point?
Yeah, we're going to go Ethan Small on Friday night, JT Ginn on Saturday, and Keegan James on Sunday. So this will be our rotation for this upcoming weekend, and see how it plays out. Those three guys have pitched really well at this point, and they deserve it. And I'm looking forward to seeing them pitch against somebody else than us.
How anxious are you to make your debut as the coach here? I
don't know if it's more anxious than normal years, but it's just not just the debut here. It's opening this park. It's all the festivities. It's going to be a crazy weekend. I'm ready for them to say play ball and all that to be to the side and be able to sit in there and coach and watch these guys play. But it is exciting. I got family coming in everywhere, and so it'll be a crazy weekend.
When you look at the stadium, you know, I know you said out here when you got introduced and we're at finished product pretty much, and is there a little extra pressure coming into tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I knew it was a big job when I took it. I knew what the stadium was going to look like, or at least close to it. Any of these jobs in the SEC are pressure, so I knew that taking it. When I took the job, I have a strong desire to coach at the highest level, and I have a strong desire to win at the highest level, and so I felt like this was the best opportunity. They've given us all the resources to put a great staff around us and then a great facility around us, and then we're going to coach baseball to our best ability.
A guy that we neglected to ask you about on media day was Tristan Marlowe. How has he responded back from that injury he had last year?
Tristan's back, so he's had a good spring training. He's available in the bullpen for this weekend. Probably in shorter stints. He's probably our 1 or 2 inning guy, but he's pitched really well for us, and I plan on using him at some point during the weekend.
Okay. I'm sorry. Do you have a designated closer or anything like that? Is there any roles?
We have a couple guys back there. We have some veterans in Riley Self, Cole Gordon, Spencer Price is really close. I mean, he may throw an inning this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be in the closer role. But some of those veteran guys, and then we have some guys who, maybe some of the young kids can do it. They throw strikes, or at least they did during scrimmages.
Is there anybody that won't be available this weekend?
No, we're pretty much all full go, so all the guys will be ready to play.
What do you know about the opening opponent? Obviously, no film on him just yet, but what do you know about him coming in?
Youngstown State, I know they're super aggressive, like to run the bases, like to put pressure on you. Got some really good athletes in there, so we'll have to defend, and we'll have to pound the strike zone, and we'll have to defend the steal.
When we talked to you on media day, there was still some competitions, if you will, in the infield, shortstop, second base. Do you have those spots figured out?
I think that's going to play out here over the next couple of weeks. Those guys are all going to play a little bit, and so see who play. They've all played well to this point, so I think you'll see some different combinations in the first couple of weeks of us playing those position players. But and we need some depth and some versatility. So I don't want to set it just yet, but you'll see some different guys play. Jordan Westberg's going to play it short, but the couple second basemen will bounce around a little bit.
Going back to the pitching rotation, going back to your days at Indiana and I guess at Louisville too, did you guys ever throw a freshman out there on day 2 like JT Ginn, or do you have experience?
I'm sitting here trying to think. I'm sure I have at some point in time. JT's a little different than a normal freshman. I mean, I'm sure he'll deal with some of the same stuff, but he was drafted for a reason. He's very talented. I don't want to put too much on a freshman, but I just think he's earned it to this point. He's pitched really well and pitched well in scrimmages, and it'll be fun to watch him.
Talking to Ethan just a minute ago, he talked about how organized and efficient practices and workouts have been this season compared to last. For you as a coach, is that something that's important to you, to be organized and efficient? And when we say we're going to be here at this time, we're going to be here. When we're done at this time, we're done.
Right. I played for Hall of Fame coach Chow Port, and organization was a man's greatest asset was his number one quote. I think I probably got that coming from a Citadel and a military school. But what I realize in today's day and time is the time for each individual kid is so important to them right now, and the communication of what we're going to do, when we're going to do it. And I'm going to try to maximize our time with you so that you can get away from here. I think the kids really respect that, and we try to stay on a schedule as much as we can.
Who would be the 4th and 5th guys in a pitching rotation? Should an injury happen, or is that kind of said yet, or who would start on?
We
Tuesday
probably have
night
4 or 5. Peyton Plumlee, Eric Sarantola, Tyler Spring. I mean, we have a handful of guys who can start. Jackie Egan can start. Brandon. I mean, we have a handful of guys. We don't need that 4th or 5th starter we need a fourth guy, and we can pitch out of necessity. But everybody's available for the weekend. Then I'll figure out Wednesday when I get to Wednesday, and we could just piece it together. Play everybody. Do a couple guys all the way through.
A couple weeks ago, you said that Dustin was kind of a little bit ahead behind the plate because of his experience. Is that still the case right now?
That is still the case. Yeah, he's just a little bit ahead. We have a good group of catchers. He just has his maturity piece is higher than everybody else's. Just handling the game, knowing the signals, knowing the pitchers, those basic things. He's ahead of the game.
Is that doubly important this weekend with a team like you said that's aggressive and wants to run the ball?
Yeah, I think so. I think that really helps. Our guys will. The second guy will run out there. He can throw just as good as Dustin. His is just more handling the pitchers and the relationship there in game with Coach Foxhall. He's just a little, been there and done it a little bit more than the other guys.
Who was the second guy there?
Probably be Hayden Jones.
Hayden Jones.
So Hayden Jones, freshman catcher, got a chance to really help us, and he has got a bazooka for an arm. But like I said, he's a freshman, just like JT, and you got to get your freshmen out there and let them get comfortable.
You say Marshall DH and some maybe?
No, Marshall will DH and catch.
Yeah.
Marshall will DH. He's had a pretty good spring offensively, so he'll kind of do a little bit of both.
Since we last talked to you, practices and scrimmages that you guys have had, what's one area that you were really impressed with and you walked away from those scrimmages saying we're going to be pretty good at doing that?
We have pitched really well in the preseason. Now, I don't always know if that means we didn't hit good, when you're playing your own team. But we've hit good too, and our good guys have hit good. But I just like the fact that guys have come out week after week and pounded the strike zone and been efficient. And we've got a pretty consistent product week to week. I think that's the biggest thing. And for a lot of these guys, I'm seeing them grow. I hope that growth goes into the games because we have some guys who were here last year who struggled, who I think could really help us right now.
When you have as many athletes as you do in the outfield, and obviously you know who's going to play center field for you, and probably got a good idea, right? But how do you rotate all those guys to make sure they get enough playing time?
Right now we have three guys that are running out there. It's probably the same three that were in Omaha. So Rowdy, Jake, and Elijah, probably out there. So those three are just a little bit more advanced than my next group. But my next group, hopefully, we got to get those other guys ready to play. We lose two of them this year, so and you got to have guys to play just in case something happens. So trying to get them in at the right time is the best piece. But I really like our outfield. So it's a really good group of kids, and they're athletic, and they play there, and they played out there in some pressure. And so I'm also their position coach, so I got to talk a little better about them than the other. But we got a good outfield.
I guess we've asked you about pretty much every position at this point, but Foscue should be at third. Right?
Foscue's probably at third. Yeah, Justin's had a really good spring training, and Tanner Allen at first right now. So those are two of the other two. So, but like I said, we've had some competition and trying to figure out who's DHing and matching up as we're looking at Youngstown State's guys and what they're going to throw, trying to match up the best guys.
You say it'll be some mix and match as they go on this first weekend. Will it also be mix and match like it, how you put the batting work together? I guess we can figure out a certain guy be number one, but how the rest of the order takes shape.
Yeah, I got to figure that out over time. We've been looking at some of the data for it. When you have two switch hitters, it gives you a different dynamic there. Not a lot. I haven't coached two switch hitters before, especially two. Rowdy and Jake are kind of like, real leadoff guys. So to have two guys like that could do some damage, and they can both run and steal. It's going to be interesting to see how, because I keep thinking about 3, 4, 5 after that. So